Oh, good evening and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast live with me and your co-host all the way from Canada, where I'm sure it's a lot nicer than it is here in the UK, Victoria Sell. Victoria, how are
A
you doing?
little. I'm good. I'm so good. I'm going to an 80th birthday party today, so I'm dressed a little bit different because after the podcast, I'll be right out the door to celebrate with everybody. How are you doing, Owen?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Just survived a massive thunderstorm here. We had thunder, lightning, everything. So if the internet does run a bit slower today, it's because of that we have had a huge thunderstorm here in Coventry. So it's not been great, Victoria. So
Wow, it's too bad.
So anyway, so obviously this is the Q&A tonight. This is your show live. We've got questions from you guys, which we're going to be answering, which I'll bring up on the screen shortly. With Victoria and I are going to give our
Mhm.
best chance to try and answer them. We've also got lots of people in the
Absolutely.
live chat, including lots of regulars. David Hutchinson will get to your question. He's asking a question about Glenn Kamara. We will get to that in a moment. Um, We've also got Malky McClellan as well, talking about how much he wants for Glenn Kamara in the live chat. We've got somebody called Vlogging with Victoria. That's Victoria. Have you seen that channel, Vlogging with Victoria?
I haven't, but I heard that they're going to be like coming out with their own video after Narsa, so you should probably subscribe to it. A
Yeah,
little
I've heard it's
shameless
really good.
advertising going on here.
Yeah, it's a really good channel actually. The person who presents it is really talented, so you should definitely watch it, guys. Definitely
Really?
watch it.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out after the podcast. We've also got Aldo as well. Great to have Aldo in the live chat. We missed you the other day, buddy. Great to have him here saying good evening, team. Paul McGarrigle as well saying evening, guys. RFC 72 saying evening all. Great to have him aboard. Aldo's approving of the new intro that we've done. After I've had some complaints about it, and other people saying they like the old one better. Can't. Please, some of the
I
people, some of the
think
time.
it's fantastic.
And Owen and the beautiful Victoria looking stunning, may I say. There you go. Compliment from Aldo there.
Thank you, Aldo. You make my day.
And Stephen saying evening troops. Let's get to these last few live comments before we get on to that. Also got a new name in the live chat as well. Emma Hughes, not a name I've seen before in the live chat, saying hi, great to have you here, Emma.
Hi,
Fantastic to have
welcome.
you on board. Just quickly kind of flick through and find out anybody I've missed who I haven't said hello to. This one, Paul McGregor as well in the live chat. Saying evening to all, evening Paul. Loads of people obviously in the live chat. Fantastic to see on this Sunday night. Obviously before a horrible Monday morning. So Victoria, let's start off with that first question. Obviously here we had from David Hutchinson in the live chat.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
says, "Do you think we should sell Kamara for 4 million? I think we should be looking for 6 at least." So, what's your opinion on Glenn Kamara, Victoria?
So personally, obviously, I don't think he played the best this season, and we bought him for the low price of 50, right? So if we can
Yeah,
get four for him, that's fantastic. Um, I'm kind of like iffy thinking, okay, well, what if he doesn't play good next season? Are people gonna want to go a little bit lower than like the 4 million mark? I think we should take what we can get because it's a profit for sure. What do you think, Owen? Do
absolutely.
you think it's
Yeah,
a profit or do you think we should wait it out for a wee bit?
I think you're right. I think the issue, obviously, with Glenn Kamara this season is the fact that obviously his value has depreciated on what it was last summer. For
Mhm.
example, £50,000. We only paid
Yeah,
50 grand for him. We obviously had some slightly bigger bids last summer, but the problem is that he had a really poor season last season, and like you said,
yeah,
he could depreciate further in value. The other issue as well is the fact that he doesn't really want to be here. You can kind of tell that with his performances in the last few weeks of the season, and well, that game against Hearts, particularly the Viaplay League Cup final. And I don't think Michael Beale particularly fancies him either as a player because he's pretty much said that he's free to leave. He hasn't used him very much at all. So yeah, I do
yeah.
think at the end of the day it's time to ship him out and say goodbye, but thank you for your service. Obviously, one of my top memories of Glenn Kamara has to be that goal in the semi-final against RB Leipzig in the Europa League semi-final, Victoria.
Oh, of course, absolutely. And it's things like that that you look back on and you're like, oh, well, I'd kind of like to keep him because of, that special moment. Are we going to get another moment like that again? But oh, it's so hard, isn't it? It's probably
Absolutely.
the hardest decision is seeing players leave because even if they don't perform the best, you do look back at your favorite moments and you're like, oh, well, what if we could get that again? you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got a comment here from Nick in blue as well. Says the enthusiasm is getting hard to ignore. I'm not quite sure what Nick's talking about with that one. Mark Curlin, obviously, I've noticed in the live chat as well, another regular contributor for the show. Mark Curlin does say, one of our members, that he would take 4 million for Kamara.
Yeah, I think
Stephen
that's good.
Stephen Gillespie says he'd get shot of Kamara ASAP. A bad egg, in my opinion, never been the same since Prague for me. Thanks, Glenn. Good luck. And Aldo says he thinks that Kamara down tools when his best pals left in Aribo and Bassi. Interesting.
Yeah.
RFC 72 says he thinks we get 5 million. And George A says, good evening from Colne in Lancashire. Fantastic. From
Oh, good evening. Welcome.
George is one of our members as well. So great to have you on board, George. Fantastic. And also another comment here about him. I think Kamara has played 22 games this season. Club said he can go for 6 mil. So that's the price. We need to stop selling players on the cheap. He's a full international with 2 years left on his contract. I guess it's what people are willing to pay for him. That's the only thing. So one of the questions in the live chat here from Mark, he says, what is everyone's thoughts on Lammers? That's the guy I was talking to you about the show before, Victoria, the Sam Lammers, the Dutch striker who's been playing in Italy. What's your opinion on him?
Well, I know that Owen and I have been talking amongst ourselves with this one on our WhatsApp together, and I don't know, I think I kind of agree with Owen. We need to be looking at players that are putting out for the club. We need to be looking at people that are getting goals, that are striding for the best. And I haven't watched a whole lot on this, so I'm going off of what Owen has told me and a little bit of research that I've done. But he doesn't seem to be up to the standard that personally myself, who has no opinion whatsoever within picking players, he doesn't seem to be up to the standard that I'd be looking for. But then again, I have to trust in Rangers and think, you know what, they've obviously seen something and they believe that there's something he can provide for us. I don't know what that is yet, but we have to trust within Rangers. They know what they're doing, they know who they're picking, and there's a reason behind everything. So give the guy a chance. If he doesn't show that he can be up to his best, well, that's that, but you never know. So give the guy a chance. That's what I'm saying. What do you think, Owen?
Yeah, I mean, his stats aren't great. I mean, let's be honest with you. Let's be honest now. The stats that we've seen from him in the last 3 years in Italy are very poor indeed. 5 goals in 3 years is not great. I mean, he had a good time in Holland in the Eredivisie when he played for Herenveen. I think it was 16-31 in the league. And as Stephen Gillespie says here in the live chat, Van Basten-esque apparently, but stats are very poor. And we've also got a comment here from Scott saying Lammers can beat a player and compose finish a few years ago, though. So I don't know, maybe Beale is looking... Beale seems to like a player that he can kind of rebuild and build back up again. Maybe that's the idea with Lammers, to try and get him back to that that form of his Hohenveen days and his PSV days. Maybe that's the intention with him. I don't know. That could be my only thinking behind why this is a move, you know, and this is why we're possibly targeting him. Paul McGarrigle says Lammers has a European Cup winners medal from last season. That was the Europa League. Obviously, he was on the bench for Eintracht Frankfurt against us, but the less said about that, the better.
Yeah.
Aldo says Negri had a shocking record before he came to Rangers, and we all know what happened there goals-wise. We've also got here, Lammers will be head and shoulders above anything we've had for years, says William N01. Great to have him on board. And RFC 72 says but for 6'3", he's very technical as well. Look, I think at the end of the day, like Victoria says, we've just got to trust in the club. We've got to trust in Michael Beale. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to look at the situation, Victoria. The players that he's signed so far, Michael Beale, have done a great job that have come to the club, haven't they? I mean, you've just got to look at Todd Cantwell.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. We definitely have to give the guy a chance and trust in the club. Even if the player hasn't played well at a different club, you're coming into Rangers. That's a whole other atmosphere. Literally, it's a whole other ball game. When you connect with other players, you can play better. You might learn stuff that you never knew, little tips, little tricks. Give him a chance. That's all I'm going to say is give him a chance, because Beale definitely does know what he's doing, and we have to trust in that.
Absolutely. Stephen Gillespie says if the lad was free, maybe, but 3 million is a big risk. The only thing I'd say that I think signing anyone is a risk. I think you pay money for people, even players you're paying 150 million for are a huge risk. David Hutchinson in the live chat says, if Beale signs him, fair enough, trust Beale. Scott05 says, a bit like Cantwell, maybe needs a fresh start in a dominant team. Got loads of comments coming. I'm trying to keep on top of them all. It's very difficult when you're doing this and try to talk at the same time. I think that Beale must have told him what he expects from him regarding us. I think he might play as part of a two up front. The only thing I could think of is he's low in confidence, maybe. Maybe that could be the possibility. Okay, Victoria, let's get to these questions. Obviously, we had the community post went up during the week, asking for Q&A, asking for your questions, your answers. Like we've always said on this channel, we are a fans channel here, run by fans for you, the fan guys. And if you can, we've got 57 at the moment watching. If you can smash the like for us, that'd be fantastic. And remember, guys, if you're not yet a member, if you hit the join button down below or on the homepage, you can join the channel for as little as 99p. It's less than a cup of coffee. It's less than a McDonald's. So bargain.
It's true.
Okay, guys, let's have a look at this question. The first question is from David Hutchinson. It says, do you and Queen Vic think that Michael Beale has got the monkey off his back, beating Celtic, will the fans now get off his back and give him a chance? So, Victoria, what's your take on that one?
Absolutely. You know what? He's someone that I think during interviews and stuff like that, we've listened to him and we know what he sees in the future of Rangers. You have to trust in the guy that he knows what he's doing. He's been picked for this job for a reason. Just like we spoke about the players, the ones that are coming in, they've been picked for a reason to be part of this. And especially with beating Celtic, I think that kind of gives us that little bit of a push to be like, oh, you know what? We didn't do it in these times, but we did it in that game. And we did something right. And personally, I think Celtic should be really scared for what's about to come next season. That's just my opinion. I think Beale has some amazing stuff planned. I think he has a game plan. And I know there's a question that I'm not going to incorporate in this, which has something to do with winning trophies that are going to come up soon. But I definitely think this is going to be a season to watch out for because he knows what he's doing and he has a good head on his shoulders. What do you think, Owen? What's your opinion on him so far?
Yeah, I mean, there's a point in the live chat from Aldo saying that Flange, I think it means Ange Postecoglou, went running to Spurs because he was scared of Beale. Beale was cooking, absolutely. Definitely. Look, I think Beale, we won that game 3-0 at home in Ibrox. And I think if you go back to even the Parkhead game where we lost 3-2, we were the better team. But for obviously Alfie's goal being ruled out, the fact that Suter and Davis pretty much gave them 2 goals as well. You've got a situation where we pretty much gave them that victory. We were the better team on that day. So
definitely.
And the other thing, Victoria, is that if you look at the teams that played in that final game of the season at Ibrox with no out and out striker, you look at the game at Parkhead as well. I honestly think that what we're recruiting now, what we're bringing in now with Sterling and Butland and Dowell and the other players possibly to come in as well. Apparently Cifuentes is close. Apparently, Dessers is close. He's building a better team, a stronger team. And I really do think that he is in a position now to really kick on with his team. He's getting his team together. He's building something for the future. And fans need to trust in him because, like we said a moment ago, you look at the players that he's brought in that have actually played for Rangers. Todd Cantwell has been amazing. He's probably the best player on the field and the best player in Scotland. And Raskin has been absolutely superb as well. Absolutely superb. Now, Callum says in the live chat, he says last season was Gio's mess and players' faults for downing tools, which I think is rancid. Stephen Gillespie says treble next year, got to push home the advantage. Darren Knock, another new name in the live chat. Darren, great to have you on board. Beale is confident in his own abilities and very ruthless too. Every game has been close since Beale came in. The manager has a vision, says Nick in Blue. We're putting a lot of faith in Beale. And Aldo says in the live chat, the only pumping that's happening since Beale came in was us with a 3-0 win. And I heard a very interesting comment during the week. I can't remember who said it now. There was someone who is one of the insiders and was talking about when Steven Gerrard was the manager and talking about Michael Beale and saying that Michael Beale was the hard man. He was the ruthless one in the dressing room that gave out the tellings off. There was strict with players when he needed to be, was on it when he needed to be. So, that's all really encouraging, I think. And I've got faith in him. I think he can be that ruthless manager, Victoria.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think he got an opportunity to kind of learn a little bit. And you know how we had, obviously, they called it like our ruthless season. I think that's what we're going to see in the up and coming season is something
Absolutely,
like that, but even better. I mean, I'm so
100%.
positive. I always think positive about it. I'm always open to giving people opportunities to prove themselves. But I don't know, there's just something in me that's like, there's something special about to happen. And I said this to my dad the other day, I'm super excited for what this season is going to hold for us.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you. Albert 11, the legend. Reference obviously to our former player at York, Albert. I think we seem to have moved on from
Absolutely.
Haji Wright, which is a shame. Was a decent, possible decent striker there. And Scott05 says Beale, total trust in the live chat. Good to have him on board. It's great to see
Yeah.
so many of you in the live chat, obviously supporting the channel. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Remember, guys, you can join on the members button if you want to become a member of the channel. And obviously, as well, if you want to support the channel, we also have the super chat and the super stickers available tonight as well. Okay,
Mhm.
the next question, Victoria, is from Paul Moore. Don't give out something. I'm not going to say that word. Who they get for manager. Regardless, we are winning the league. Whoever they bring in has a job on their hands as Beale's squad is shaping up nicely. Very exciting. The players we are going for. We are the people, lads. Moyes is favourite to replace him. I'm going to slightly frame that as more of a statement, but I'm going to frame that as a question. Victoria, do you think part of Postecoglou's thinking was that he kind of heard Beale's footsteps coming up behind him and kind of got out while the going was good?
There's always that possibility. I don't have too much of an opinion on that one, but there's definitely always that possibility. I mean, Beale's definitely someone to look at, to watch out for and stuff like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's an element of that in there. I think, obviously when you get offered a job in the
When you get
EPL,
offered a
you
job in
tend
the
to take
EPL,
it because you get a lot of money. It's loads of money
yeah.
down there. But I do think there is an element of perhaps he feels obviously the team has kind of run its course. I think there's players leaving there reportedly over the
Hmm.
summer, Kyogo and Hatate. But I think there's a good chance, that may have, part of it could have been that he felt he'd get out while the going was good. He's just won the treble, unfortunately. It makes us all
Yeah,
very sad. But we are building. We are the team in Glasgow that's growing. We're the team in Glasgow. I think that is the best team in Glasgow at this moment in time, and we're only going to get better, in my opinion. So, well, that's my
it
opinion.
is. It definitely is.
Stephen Ray says, new subscriber, loving the content of the channel. Thank you, Stephen. Keep up the good work, guys. Onwards and upwards. That's more of a statement than a question, but thank you, Stephen. Thank you to anyone who subscribes. The channel is doing phenomenally well. Absolutely superb. Thank you
It
for that,
is. And we
Stephen.
really appreciate every single one of you.
Absolutely. Question two. Next question. How do you think Rangers will line up next season? Still 4-3-3, 4-3-2-1, or will we go three at the back? Now, it's obviously something that Michael Beale has kind of alluded to quite a lot in his press conferences this season.
Yeah.
Victoria, what's your take on that?
So I thought about it a little bit and I've kind of decided on that 4-3-3 pattern. But
Yeah,
then again, I'm also thinking about the fact that when we go into different games, we don't want the opposing team, whoever that might be, to look at us and be like, you know what, this is probably what they're going to do. So I think Rangers are going to throw a couple of curveballs in there, some stuff that we might look at and we might be like, that's crazy. Why are they doing it that way? But there's a system behind it. And that's because you want to expect something, but then again, we're going to do something different. So people can't follow what we're going to be doing. What do you think of that? Do you think it's going to be one of those seasons where it's going to be pretty straightforward what we think, or do you think they're going to throw some curveballs into that one?
I think there may be some curveballs into that, depending on who we're playing. I
Yeah,
think he's building a team that can be flexible because if you look at the nature of the players that Michael Beale has signed so far this summer, he's signed players that are what we term in the modern game as hybrid players that can play anywhere into have multiple
yeah,
positions, shall we say. I mean, if you take Sterling, can play right back, left back, centre half. Dowell can play attacking midfield, right wing, left wing. Obviously, Butland can only play in goal. I get that. Dessers, who we're linked with, can play right wing, left wing up front, or second striker. Cifuentes is another one who can play as a defensive midfielder or that number 8 that goes box to box. So he's definitely looking for that. And I think you may see Michael Beale perhaps taking after the late great Walter Smith and throwing in a few curveballs in there and varying the formation. I think we will at times play with the three at the back that Mark and Aldo suggest in the live chat. I think there may be a case of us going with two up top if we do sign a couple of strikers, and perhaps putting Cantwell in the hole behind them to roam free and be that free player to go and create. But that seems to be the situation there. But I think a lot does depend on how many strikers we sign between now and the closing of the window, the starting of the season. But Beale is very tactically astute. He's very tactically aware. For me, I think he will vary the formation as the season goes on. So I think there will be a bit of a curveball in there as well. A couple of questions in the live chat as well. Blue Nose John says, hello, Owen and Victoria. Is Ross Stewart out of contract at Sunderland? Ross Stewart, obviously the centre forward who plays for Sunderland. He's been out injured most of this season. I think he's made 13 appearances. He's got 12 months left on his deal at the moment. They had a 12-month option, which they've now extended. And reportedly, the asking price is about 10 million for Stewart. So I think he's pretty much off the Rangers' radar at this moment.
I think so.
For that amount of money, anyway. I think Darwin and Kamara are going to be massive together, says Aldo in the live chat. Apparently, it's scorching in Govan, Victoria. That
is it? Well, that's good, because I know a lot of people from that area are going to be coming over to the convention, so it kind of lightly prepare them for what they're going to be getting here, hopefully.
Definitely. Stephen Gillespie in the live chat says, I think we need real options and flexibility, need to be able to change it up in the game, play to the strength of the lads up front, which is kind of what we were saying in terms of that flexibility. Definitely think that's the case, 100%. You've got 5-5-5-5. The Wolf says the biggest difference between them and us last season was the goals scored. Kyogo had over 30 goals. A Gers striker must score between 20 and 30 the chances we create. I think that's 100% right. And that's certainly something, wasn't it, that Michael Beale talked about last season. The fact that we weren't clinical enough in front of goal. I don't know if you heard him mention that at all, Victoria, but that certainly seemed to be a common theme of his press conferences.
Yeah, it definitely did. And you know what? I wasn't always the happiest when I heard him say that, because, like I said, I'm so focused on the positive. But yeah, you do have to mention the negative things, but it's also something that you can improve on. And he's noticing that, and he knows what we have to do training wise this summer to really get ourselves in shape to achieve what we want to achieve next season.
Absolutely. Warren Smith says in the live chat, Negri scored 33 goals at Perugia before joining Rangers. Let's have it right. Lammers scored a total of 5 goals in 57 matches in the last 3 seasons. So obviously Warren is not impressed with the possible signing of Sam Lammers. Question here in the live chat as well from Scott. Do you think Colak stays? Victoria, what's your take on Antonio Colak?
I like the guy, so I'm going to say yes. I think he will stay. I think he has a lot to prove for Rangers in general, and I think he could bring something great to the team next season, as long as he trains hard. What do you think, Owen? Are you a fan, or should we push him to the side?
I'd agree. I think we need to hang on to him. His goals record was pretty good last season in terms of the amount of goals he scored. I think he is a very talented player. I mean, there has been rumours of a £4 or £5 million possible sale to one of the teams in the Bundesliga, but I would like to keep hold of Colak. The guy got 18 goals. When he was fit last season, he looked decent, and I think with the fact, obviously, Kamara Roof can't be relied upon to stay fit. We've obviously lost Alfie. At the moment, we don't have an out-and-out striker. There is no out-and-out striker. The club Fashion's not a striker. He's a winger. Zach Lovelace is only 16 years old, 17 soon. He's not really ready for first-team football. So I definitely think we do need to do that. Another question here in the live chat here. Is Tillman not coming? Victoria, doesn't look like Tillman's coming back, does it?
It doesn't look like it, but I mean, it's all speculation until things are written in stone. You never know. You never know what could happen.
Absolutely. Aldo says Colak will get 20 plus goals this season. I think that's probably right with the I think the thing you've got to think about that, Victoria, is the quality as well. Of service to him this year should be better with the players we're bringing in.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. I think he definitely has something to prove, and I hope he's going to be great. Emphasis on I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Pure Loyalist in the live chat. Good to have Pure Loyalist here. It says, busy night, folks. Hello, Owen and Victoria. Hope all is well. Catch up soon. Take care. We are the people. Stephen
Hello.
Gillespie says, we overlooked Colak to put Alfie back in. Can't have that level of sentimentality again. That's his, obviously, the opinion there. Interesting opinion on obviously on Alfie there. Next question on the live chat from Laura. Love you and Victoria to bits. You're both fab. Thank you, Laura, for that. Laura says, who is your favourite Rangers player of all time? Victoria, who is your favourite Rangers player of all time?
Okay, so emphasis on the of all time, not of this season.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to go with somebody that made a big impact on me, not just loving Rangers, but also like growing up watching him play, and that's Nacho Novo. I'll never forget his goal on Helicopter Sunday. He was one of those players I think I mentioned before that I always looked at and thought, oh, you know what? He's coming on. He's going to score. We're going to win the game. Even if we were down, oh, it's fine. He's coming on. No problem. So he was one of my definite favorites. 100%. I'm reading RFC 72. Like I said, not this season, but
No.
of all time, it's definitely got to go to Nacho Novo. I mean, what an absolute legend. How about you, Owen?
Yeah,
Who's someone that
although
you
back in your call there, he's saying great shout, Victoria.
yeah,
Definitely. Quick point from Martin here. So let's stick to facts. They were better all over the park last season, so important to strengthen in all areas. I think he's in reference to that lot from across the city. In terms of, I think my favourite player of all time. Look, I mean, I was a big fan, obviously, of Chris Woods. One of the reasons I started supporting Rangers, but my favourite player of all time has got to be Paul Gascoigne.
of
Just
course.
for I mean, number one reason is the way he played on the field. I mean, the Aberdeen game when we won the championship and he scored, I think it was a hat trick that day, including that goal where he set off from halfway and beat half their team to score. He was just an
Yeah.
absolute superstar. The diving header against Celtic, when they hit the bar moments early and we then broke the length of the pitch and he scored. Um, the slightly controversial warm up that he did at Parkhead, which I'm not going to do on the channel because I don't want to get taken down, as well, was very funny.
Demonetized.
Yeah, demonetised for that one. But he was just a superstar player. But it's not just the superstar player for me. It's also the fact that Gaza was a character, an absolute character as well. And
Oh yeah.
that's a whole different podcast. The funny stories we could all tell about Paul Gascoigne. There was just so many. And if you go onto YouTube and you search for funny stories about Gaza, some of them will have them in absolute stitches for just
Oh, I
the
know.
type of player that he was. So yeah, Gaza for me definitely my all-time favourite. Nicholas Moore agrees, says Gaza for me too, Owen. Margaret Wood says David Cooper, Super Cooper. RFC 72, there's a name from the past, recent past. One player I love was Bagheera, Majid Bagheera.
Yeah.
Paul McGarrigle says Gaza, God take your pick. William O1 says, I loved Neil McCann and Kinija. World Cup winner as well as that. Two guy, very underrated. Ian Ferguson. 555 The Wolf says, Alberts, then Laudrup. We've got quite a few mentions for David Cooper, Laudrup, obviously. Mark Curley says, best goal I've seen was Cooper's against Aberdeen. Leighton never moved. That was off the free kick. We've got a name from the past here I'm sure your dad would remember as well. Warren Smith, Derek Johnston.
Yep, definitely. We'll have a chat
Definitely
about that
from the past
after.
there. Before mine and Victoria's time. Ewan Minton, York, the Hammer Alberts, and RFC 72 says Barry Ferguson was mine. I think William's been slightly sarcastic with that one. Best laugh was Gaza with the McCoys with the fireworks. Yes, that's an incredibly funny story. If you Google it, you'll find out about it. Coisty is my hero, but I always love the feistiness of Ferguson. And DJ made his debut at 16. So, yes, I think we're just so lucky, though, Victoria, for me, that we've had so many talented players at this club over the years. Just so much, so many things that, I was reflecting last night. I was doing a live on TikTok yesterday, actually, was at some point. And I was talking about the team of the 80s when I started watching Rangers. And I was just going through the names in the list. Trevor Stephen, Gary Stevens, Terry Butcher, Chris Woods, Graham Roberts, Terry Hurley, Ali McCoy, Ian Durant, Robert Fleck, Mark Walters, Davy Cooper. I mean, it's phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, how much those players would be worth in today's transfer market would be insane.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. I mean, there's people that you look at that the first thing when you see their name is just think, ah, absolute legend. And you have these memories. I know like there's fans on here that are watching right now that I've mentioned their favorite players that probably are looking at these names and automatically like that you picture a memory or you remember a moment that that player made you feel when they scored a goal, when they told a funny story, maybe when you actually met them for the first time. So it's incredible the memories that these players have been able to create and really make an impact on people's lives, which is incredible. And they're fantastic football careers.
Absolutely. John in the live chat says Gaza, Laudrup, and Haitley in brackets best striker. Victoria, you're going to get a chance to meet Mark Haitley, aren't you?
I have. So I've actually met Mark before, and he is so wonderful. He's very genuine. He's funny. He's down to earth. And yeah, the next couple of days we'll get to see each other again, which is awesome. He'll be coming, like I said, to the Narsa convention in Toronto, which I know at the end of the podcast we're going to talk a little bit about. So I won't take up too much time doing that right now.
Absolutely. Okay, and the final question from the Q&A today. Aldo, the sniper, McNaughton are really good buddies, one of my good buddies as well. Top man Aldo is. Do you think Beale will take the treble next season? Victoria, are we going to win the treble next season?
Well, I'm going to kind of flip this around and say to Aldo, is that even a question? Of course we are. I really see these big things for Rangers coming. And you know what? I think Owen and I have spoken to this before, but yes, we have the bigger picture that we want to look at, but we have to take every game as it comes. We have to focus on the next game, win it, one and done, put it in the past, bring on the next people. And that's what we have to do. Focus on every single individual game, not the game that we have coming up 5 games later, but every individual game. And once that game is won, pop it away, move on to the next. And I think Aldo's 100% right. I think this is going to be a season to remember. And I actually said to my dad on the couch the other day, I'm like, you realize if we get into any of these finals, I will be on my phone getting ready and booking flights to go to these finals as much as I can. I don't care where it is. We have to make this happen. Definitely a season to remember. How about you, Owen? Are you going to be on your phone with me trying to make this happen as much as we
100%,
can?
yeah, 100% I will be, yeah, totally. I honestly think we've got a great chance next season. I think Beale is building something, and we saw the caliber of football he played last season. He is building something, without trying to get too far ahead of ourselves, which obviously always a danger. I can't see any reason why this team can't compete for all 3 trophies next season. Todd Canwell, full season, full pre-season behind him. Nicholas Raskin, full pre-season behind him. The new signings coming in. Some of the experienced players, Tav, Goldson, Ridvan. I think we've got a team that is more than capable of putting that lot from across the city to the sword. So I've got no concerns about competing for the treble. Hopefully we'll do it. I don't want to tempt fate by saying yes we will and looking like an idiot in a few months' time if we don't. But I mean, why stop at the treble? Why not go for the quadruple? Let's take the Champions League as well. Let's go one up on Manchester City. They won the treble yesterday. We'll win the quadruple.
That would be fantastic. I would love that. My very best friend, her boyfriend is a Man City fan, so it'd be nice to send a little text message saying, "Watch out."
We're coming for you. Interesting comment here in the live chat. I think this is a case of watch this space, isn't it, Victoria? Owen, here's a question for you, but you will need time to do it. Pick a Rangers 11 that you have seen, only 1 player per country and no British players.
Oh, that's something we could talk about.
That's a podcast in itself, isn't it, Victoria?
That is. That's one full podcast. And you know what? That could be a good idea to think about. Maybe we already have something up our sleeves to do with something like that.
Absolutely.
That's all I can say.
Paul McGregor says, Terry Herlock, anything above the grass is mine. Lol. I've got David Hutchinson says, don't see any reason why not. The team Beale's building. Treble's there. What else have we got in the live chat? Will be good to get a pre-season into. Roof might even be fit. I think 555 the Wolf is getting slightly ahead of himself on Roof being fit. Mark Curlin says, I agree. Beale is technically astute. And what we've got here, Aldo says, right, calm down now, ha ha. I'll take the EL there. I thought the Europa League, I think that is. Lots of comments here in the live
That would
chat.
be great.
Pre-season is key, especially after the rumours of how easy it was last season and how sluggish we looked after it. I don't think we were fully fit. I don't think Gio got us fully fit last season at all. And Malky says in the live chat as well, we have to compete for everything. So I think that's absolutely spot on with that comment. Guys, been some fantastic question in the live chat tonight. Like we said, we're always aiming to try and do one podcast a week where we do Q&A to give you the opportunity to contribute to this channel. You know, Victoria and I have always said this channel is about you guys. It's about, you know, getting you guys involved with the channel. We've always said this is run by the fans. You know, both Victoria and I are fans with varying length of years of experience of supporting the club due to our obviously different birth dates. I'm a lot older than Victoria, obviously. And, you know, the situation is, you know, that's the situation. So this is why we do this. We love having you on board. You know, we love all the support you give us. We love the comments. We love the super chats. We love the super stickers. We love the memberships. We love all that, guys. The involvement is absolutely fantastic. Charles Dalrymple just joined the live chat. Charles, good evening. Says, I think this pre-season we need to get the fitness back above all else. That was our best opportunity to win the European trophy last year. And 555 the Wolf says hope Suter is fully fit. He is injured at the moment on Scotland duty, which is not great. Okay. So Victoria, we've obviously, you know, we've answered all the viewers' questions as best as we can. Hopefully, guys, we've answered your questions well. Victoria, obviously, you've got a massive week coming up across the pond, haven't you?
We do. It's going to be a huge week. It's going to be so much fun. So we can talk a little bit about it. I don't know if there's anybody in the live chat that's going to be attending the Narsa convention this year, but I usually always attend. I love going to the Narsa convention. Both the Narsa committee as well as the host club put in so much work into their guests, organizing tours and everything. So I thought I'd go and tell you guys a little bit about it. This year, like I said, it's in Toronto, but next year it's going to be in New York City. We'll find out the dates for that soon. But just going by what we're going to be doing. So this Wednesday, and just so you know, I will be making little videos during it that Owen and I will be putting up onto the channel. So you guys, if you're not there, can follow along, maybe even see some of your favorite players, which is a lot of fun. Anyway, so on the Wednesday night, which is kind of like the unofficial night before the whole Narsa convention starts, they're going to be gathering at a place called Gatherings. And that's going to be between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. I know they're going to have karaoke. They're going to have special price drinks and stuff like that, which is fun. Thursday is going to be the welcome night, which is going to be amazing. Get to meet some great players, welcome everybody, make new friends, meet old friends. Friday night, there's going to be the blue night with also the Pride of the Rock. I believe that's what they're called, the flute band, which is going to be great. I think they have something special planned for that one. I'm not going to say anything about it yet, but definitely watch out because it's going to be a good video. Saturday, we also have the Walter Smith Grand Memorial Banquet, which is really exciting, obviously in honor of Walter Smith. And then on Sunday, we have our unofficial leaving party, which is great. Some of the people that will be attending this year is Gordon Smith, who's being brought over by the host club, which is fantastic. And we also have Andy Gray. We have Willie Henderson, who's very dear to my heart. And of course, Mark Haitley, as some of you guys mentioned before, which is super exciting and something different this year that they're going to be doing. Let me bring it up on my phone. They're going to be setting up a blue room bar in the hotel, which is kind of cool. I believe like you'll be able to get some like cheaper price drinks and stuff like that. That is going to be set up, if I get it right. Let me see. I think it's around 2 p.m. I'll have to get that checked out, but I will be posting it on my my Twitter account, which I don't think I have it connected here, but if you guys do know it, it is VAF and my last name, which is right here, Sarah. It's actually all my initials. So yeah, so I'll be posting up there. I know I'm going to be talking to Owen a lot during it. Unfortunately, I won't be doing like any podcast during that time, but I'm going to try and do some short videos. And of course, I'm going to make my video that I do every year, which is basically my Narsa vlog, which I just make personally myself. I want to have one video that's more of like a vlogging style where I want to take you guys around, maybe meet some players and stuff like that. And then we'll also have one just like about Narsa itself. I'm no way like involved in Narsa, just somebody that attends, but I truly love it every year. And it's probably the highlight of the year, something to look forward to at the end of the season. And I hope Owen's able to make it across one year and we can do that as a team. Maybe we can do like a little live stream from it one year. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So if you
That would be
are
great.
there, feel free to always come up and say hi. I'd really appreciate it. Get to meet you guys, take pictures together, create some long-lasting memories. So if you are there, let me know and come on up. That's
Absolutely,
about
100%
it.
agree with that. Yeah, I'd love to get across to Narsa one year. Especially love it if you did it in the city of Pittsburgh. That would be fantastic. But
You
if you've
would,
got
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh Penguins, Steelers, yeah, just get yourselves get the Narsa convention to Pittsburgh, please. That would be fantastic.
That'd be great. Well, we'll find out this year actually where it is 2 years from now. So who knows where it will be? We're going to find out this week.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just a quick one. Victoria and I are going to be talking about this in a bit more depth later on. We're going to make a pre-record video at some point about this, but just I've had scrolling on the bottom of the screen about the Rangers FC Lotto, rydc.co.uk. I signed up this week, guys. Only £1 a week to support the club. All goes to the youth development at our club. Take it out of your account, gives you a chance to win some money, but also support our players. And as Colin Stewart was saying the other night, that lot from across the city are taking more money than us. We can't let them beat us. Come on, guys, get behind the RIDC lorry. So click on the link and sign up. And obviously, as well, if you want to donate any money to help the former players, rfpbc.org to donate as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic if you could. Thank you very much for that. Well, guys, I think we're going to call that a podcast for tonight. It's getting late over here and I've got work in the morning. Victoria, any final thoughts?
You know what? I'm just really excited for this week. It's something I've really looked forward to, and I'm excited to be able to bring Glasgow Rangers Nation into the Narsa event. It's going to be so busy. We have friends actually staying at the house with us, which is nice. It's going to be a full house for one night, and then we're going to be jetting down to Toronto on Thursday. So very, very busy. And I know Owen's been on the receiving end of me saying, I got to do this, got to do that. So it's very busy for me. How about you, Owen? Any final thoughts?
I think it's going to be a very wonderful transfer window opens on the 14th, which I think is Wednesday. I think then going to see some money being spent and players finally, finally being brought in. So definitely think that that will be very exciting. It's going to be an exciting week, and obviously Glasgow Rangers Nation will be all over that, bringing you all the latest news. Obviously between working as well. Well, guys, in the live chat, thank you so much for all your company tonight. Thank you for all your comments, your questions. Thank you to Bobby Davidson, who is a new member of the channel. Welcome on board, Bobby. Thank you very much for joining up. Guys, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back to speak to you again really soon. I wish Victoria a great Narsa convention as well. I hope she has a great time. And if you can smash the like at the end for me, and if you've not yet subscribed, please hit that sub. Thank you very much, guys. We're back to speak to you again very soon here on Glasgow Rangers Nation.